Come right up here, bud. Getting your steps in today, right?
Yeah.
Ready? All right. Let's begin.
This is an administrative hearing held on September 9th, 2025 in LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. The proceeding number is 44-015-24-0-00002. The parcel number is 44-05-14-300-000-045-015. The property address is 1308 Orchard Lane, Shipshewana, Indiana, 46565. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Is that correct? 2025?
Yeah.
Does everyone present agree under the year under appeal is as stated, 2025?
25? He's 24. This is the only 24.
So is it 24? Are you appealing 24 or 25?
25, I think.
You're for taxes payable 25, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so it's 2024. My name is Kim Fairchild, and I am Secretary of PTABOA.
The following other persons are here representing the PTABOA,
Jennifer Beachy.
Joe Billman.
and I'm Deb Notstein. The following person is here representing the taxpayer. Will you please state your name?
Floyd Miller.
Thank you. The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild?
Are you going to have any testimony?
I am, but I'm not with the assessor's office.
Okay. Then would you please state your name and your duties here?
Yes, my name is Meryl Redden, and I'm representing the auditor's office.
Thank you. Will all persons who are or may be witness in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
So the procedure what we will follow is that we will allow you to give us what your situation and evidence is. The county assessor and the auditor will respond with their information, and then we, as a board, will come to a decision.
Okay.
So would you please proceed?
Yeah.
Okay, what caused you to appeal?
Do you want me to state what it is?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I appeal my property taxes. In 2024, property tax was $10.68 per installment. In 2025, it was $27.66, more than double. I know it was my fault. I didn't know he had to, I thought that was taken care of as far as a homestead exemption. I know that was my fault. But anyway, I've been faithful to pay my taxes every year and on time. I filled all the forms that are required. I ask for leniency.
Okay, is that all you have right now?
That's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to respond to this from the auditor's office?
Yeah, I may as well. So we respect the timely payments, of course, but we can only operate under the state's requirements with deadlines and filings. I provided you all with a copy of this page. It's the third page of the sales disclosure form where Mr. Miller purchased the property in question back in 2023. The state does allow us to utilize this page as a homestead application if the box towards the lower half of the page where the homestead credit box is checked yes. In this case, it was checked no. And then to the left of that, will this property be the buyer's primary residence? It also says no. Above that, it does have the Mr. Miller's prior address still listed, the 5360 West Highway 20 in LaGrange. And then the seller, Robert and Harriet Bontrager Trust, has the address in question, 1308 Orchard Lane. So based on the information that we received, it appears that the seller was not moving right away, and this form was not to be used as a homestead filing. So we are unable to use this to retro any taxes because of the circumstances that we see on the form. And then also provided you with a copy of Mr. Miller's homestead application, which was not completed until April of 2025. So because he did not file prior to January 15th, we also cannot retro any homestead application to reinstate it for the payable 2025 taxes based on the information that we received. That's all I have.
Are there any questions? Did you move into this residence right after you bought it?
I did soon afterward, yeah. I've been in there 2 years now. We moved 2 years ago. And the first year, the taxes were a lot lower because I know it was my fault, but I appealed to you to have it reduced.
Mr. Miller, I have a question.
Okay.
This property, how long after that did you sell your prior property?
It was soon afterward. It was
Within a month or two, something like that, or longer than that period?
a month or two, yeah.
Okay. But it was after you closed
Purchased
on
it,
the
yeah,
current property?
yeah.
We were actually dealing with 2 years of taxes.
So everyone gets a carryover benefit. So on his previous home, we didn't receive the transaction of the sale of his previous home until 2024. So he received, the buyer of his previous home received a carryover based on the 2024 transaction. They would actually receive a carryover through 2026. And so since he purchased the Shipshewana property in 2023, he received a carryover for 2024, which is why the taxes were lower. And then it's set to be removed for pay 25, which is the year we're speaking of.
So as of right now, he is all set.
He is all
future and
set.
everything.
Correct.
So we're dealing with
Just 1
question
year.
on 2 years.
Just the 24 payable 25, just the 1 year. Previous year, he did receive the benefit because the previous owner had qualified and filed for the homestead.
Okay.
So there's only 1 year where there was a homestead loss.
There was so much going on right then that, and I'm old, I'm older, so it's hard for me to catch up on things.
Well, I fall behind in paperwork too. So.
I do it. Yeah,
By state law and everything, I mean, we have to deny it at this point.
And hearing that, is there a motion from the board as to our findings?
I will make a motion. Mr. Miller, I understand your situation. I understand what happened. But unfortunately, our hands are fairly well tied by state law. That if that form is not signed by the dates that the legislature has set, there's not a whole lot we can do. I feel for you, and I wish there was something I could do to help you, but right now, our hands are tied. So I make a motion to deny this request.
I'll second that motion.
So we have a motion and a second to deny Mr. Miller's application for leniency on his paperwork here. Is there any other discussion? Hearing
other
none.
than it was no use for me to come.
Well, I
Hearing,
wish there was something we could do.
So I pay the last installment, which is $27.66 or whatever it is.
unfortunately. So is
I
there,
was hoping
all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We're so sorry.
I'm sorry, sir, that we couldn't do something.
okay, that's it. Well, I can pay it, but I didn't. Fortunately, I'm on a fixed income. Okay, then you're finished now, right?
Yes, yep, we are.
Didn't need to first identify.
Are we all ready now?
Yep.
Okay. Begin.
This is an administrative hearing being held on September 9, 2025 in the LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. The proceeding number is 44-013-25-0-50020 and 44-013-25-0-1000003. The parcel numbers are 44-0926-400.007-013 and 44-09-26-400-201.000-013. The property address is 7185 South 170 East and South 1075 East, Wolcottville, Indiana, 46795. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree the year under appeal is as stated?
Yes.
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I am secretary of the PTABOA.
The following other persons are here representing the PTABOA,
Jennifer Beachy,
Joe Milton.
and I'm Deb Notstein. The following person is here representing the taxpayer.
Michael Bremer.
The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild,
Josh Pettit with Nexus.
Will all persons who are may be witness in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
you.
So our procedure is as follows, that you can give us your information, your evidence, and your situation. The county will come back with theirs. As a board, we will listen, ask questions if we need to, and then we will come to a decision.
Correct.
So, you're on.
Okay, as argued the last 3 or 4 years, my property is channel front. I have photos of the dredger dredging the channel in front of my house. I need my tax rate changed to channel front property. I also have more photos here of the sediment buildup that my neighbor next door to the south of me is blowing stuff up the channel, and I've got 6-7 foot of sediment. I can't even use my beach. So if you take my house and put it somewhere else on the lake, I would agree with your numbers. But in my current location, no. It's a fact that I'm on the channel. And you stated last year that you would believe me if I was 2 more houses down, that you might change it to a channel front property. And you also stated if you change one, I have to change all of them. So there's 6 residents, including myself, down the end of the road that should be taxed as channel front properties. And I have more photos here if you need to see them. I can pull some up on here too as well. You have passed this around.
Those were taken last fall,
Those were taken 2004 or 5,
2004, 2005.
somewhere in that neighborhood. Well, Mitch Daniels put a hold on the project, so actually it probably didn't get down to my end until about 2006, when he yanked all the money and said we're shutting down the DNR projects. I was the chairman of the dredging project for the whole lake. It was a $150,000 project. But I mean, there's no denying the facts. There's the sediment. That's about 6 foot of sediment under the water there. That's off my pier. You can see how deep it is. But then there's a photo, that's my beach area. You can see the channel. It's obviously a channel. There's the channel going down the lake to the north. And then my neighbor, he decided to cut all these lily pads out back in here with this boat motor, and all that crap is floated up in my area over here as well. So you can see that's definitely not lakefront, it's a channel. There is no denying the facts.
I have a question. What is proper protocol with him having photos on his device? Are we allowed to look at his device?
Yeah. If he wants to bring that back up and you guys want to pass that around, or if he wants to,
I'm sure that we're doing-
whatever you're comfortable with, he can walk behind you guys and show it if you want him to hold
Thank
it,
you.
as long as you guys are comfortable with that. Yeah.
Okay, that's from my property looking north. That's my neighbor's beach. It's obviously a channel. That's my property here, and there's all the stuff the neighbors chopped all the lily pads. They've all floated up in here my property. And you can see where you cut all that out there and you got in trouble with that. You know, I had a little discussion with him, but you can obviously see I'm on a channel, there's my beach area and all that crap he cut. It's really in there, there's no sense for me to clean it out. And right there is a sediment, it's about 6 foot deep right there. That sediment is close to being 6 foot deep right there in that area.
Let's go back a couple of photos.
Yes, sir.
This out here, is this water all the way through, or is there actually a landmass?
The landmass stops right there, about in there is where the landmass
So that's a
stops.
bit higher area here in the photo.
Yes.
Is actually the landmass.
Yeah, you can get out there and walk on that.
Okay.
That is walkable.
But this area over this area here
It's
is,
all just lily pads, spatter dock.
would you be able to put a canoe or something through there?
Yeah, but it would be a struggle.
Okay.
Paddle boat, no.
You might want to work out and try.
Nah. But like you say, you can see how deep the sediment is. The water, that should be 8 foot deep, 7 foot deep right there. And that's like a foot under the surface of the water.
After they did the dredging in 2004, how
Mhm.
deep was that?
9 feet.
15% for, is that for excess frontage or is it for his?
Some of it, it's
Thank you.
10%. They put it on the record of the appeal.
Okay.
Thank you.
And also here I have a statement when I appealed back in 2005. Property is channel front and overappraised by current practice. And there you had my land at 134,000 and my improvements at 68,300. There's from 2005. And now what are my property values? $258. Is that what I'm seeing on here?
Yes.
Oh, that's a total?
Yes.
192 on the land, yeah.
On the beacon, do we have any photos? What was the date on the photo we're looking at right
That's a 2005, spring of
now? 25
25.
March. Do we have anything from, pull up the different photos under the date?
Yeah, for me to access the lake, I actually have to come down here and go out on the lake down here. Yeah, you can see the landmass, it stops right there then. Yeah, you can get out there and walk on that. Because we used to do wild goose eggs out there.
And then there's just lily pads in front of it all the way down, just not showing up on here, is that right?
It looks like it here, it's pretty shallow.
Let's go to November of
Well, I
2017. That show any of the summer growth.
That was dirt.
So that probably, let me come up here to the photo. So it's working. Scroll down. So this, what we're seeing right here would be left over from the summer growth of the
Yes.
lily pads,
Yes,
with the landmass actually still ending up here.
correct.
And then this is the lower level, but
Right, it's
that is
still,
water. Okay.
right.
How deep is that water out there in the lily pad area?
Approximately 3 feet. Probably a little over waist high maybe, if you're staying on a lily pad root. But if you miss a root, you'll obviously sink in.
So if you took a rowboat out there on a early March day.
Yes, you could roll across
You
there,
can row across there.
yes. But that's, who's gonna be out there in March?
Mhm.
Ice is coming off in
Correct.
September, about March, about St. Patrick's Day when ice comes off. And I also have some more obsolescence. My electrician, this didn't break, it blew, it ate up my breaker bus bar. Instead of throwing the breaker out, so I went to the Kendall Electric. The guy said, good luck finding parts for that, so I need some more obsolescence added on.
Let me see it.
Because you already described my house as being obsolete, a tear down. Yeah, it just fused, just ate the bus bar. I had to move that down another spot in the cabinet there.
I can tell you where you can get some of those.
Well, right now it's repaired, but my house is obsolete, so there's no sense in.
Yeah, they haven't made that work in a while, but there are, a spot that has a few of those that you need some more.
Right.
So he has
How deep is it between the lily pad mast and the shore?
It's up to 9 feet.
But you can like get your pontoons out. You can
Yes.
get your motorboats.
Yes, you have to go down, for me to access the lake, like I said, I have to go down 2-3 houses.
You can see where if you back up, you can catch the deeper water. You can see where he
I gotta
goes.
come clear down here to access the lake. I can't go straight out.
I
gotta
pulled it
come
up
down
on
here to
Google
go out.
Maps. Google Maps shows it a lot better than that.
Okay.
But it's a fact, I'm on a channel, and I know you guys have a channel front rate versus a lakefront rate, and I believe I qualify for a channel rate.
What about the stuff in the Big Bay? Is it got a different rate? I don't know if we have another rate on that lake. I thought the only thing that was getting something for channel was the inlet up by the north side. On the north side, there's this area. Going back into there, I think we've done something to those land pieces, but even this is the co-op. Where's it at? So that weird channel thing, this is just one parcel. It's the whole co-op, so that doesn't even have, that's commercial rate.
Yeah, let me determine what that value should
I'm
be.
trying to see what, like, where my grandma had a place, like what's
Is there evidence to show what the value should
what's
be?
that on this bay? Grump's still on that, oh my gosh. They owned it when I was a kid. What rate does he have? I just want to see if this rate's different.
I know.
3670? Base rate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to see, I mean, if he's down to see what they have and see if there's any neighbors below or something. Do you have something to show what you believe the value would be, or that someone's given you an indication of what the value of the property should be because of that?
No, it's not really, no. It's a tear down, like you guys stated last year. We all agreed to that. It's obsolete.
'Cause I
I
see
still have shag carpet.
okay, because I see the grade is pretty low and the condition is at fair. It's the lowest we can go on that for the house. So is your contention more on the land value or on the improvement value or just overall?
Overall.
Overall.
Like I said, if my house was somewhere else on the lake, I would agree with these numbers, but in that location, I'm on a channel. It detracts from the value of the lake property. And you tax accordingly to that.
Aren't you still looking
Yeah,
for
we're
questions?
still. Okay, we've looked at these pictures and what have you got?
So, yeah, this is a difficult situation. He was in here last year. We talked about this before. The county has still left on the recommendations you guys had from last year. So he's getting 10% off the land to help account for that. There actually is no channel front on this as a rate. We do have a little channel area if you go all the way up by the boat launch. that does have some negative influences on it. I think it's what we end up giving him, if we looked at from last year. That one you can't look at as commercial. It's a whole co-op thing. So you actually have to scroll all the way up to by the boat launch to find some parcels that have negative influences on them. You know, I live on a lake. I get it. I understand his situation. I'm trying to think about this from a real estate standpoint, and he's kind of a tweener, right? Like he's truly not a channel. Like if you go up by the boat launch, the other landmass is, 40 foot away, 30 foot away. Part of the appeal of the lake is also that wide open view. So he's kind of stuck in between that, right? His boat access is channel, but his view is lakefront, right? I mean, go back to my days doing Lake Michigan lake property. And literally, if you got a view of the lake, you could be 4 houses deep. But if you got a glimpse of the lake, it raised your value. Just people would pay more because they could see through the trees and see the lake, right? So that's not even lakefront, or it was just a view. There was an actual neighborhood for lake view in that case. So it's difficult. I would say that we do have comps. It's similar comps you had last year. These are obviously not in his exact area. There are no sales along that stretch of road to even find out. There are no sales up in the other channel really to see what they sell for. So we don't have a good comp to say this is what happens when your boat access is different. But I will tell you that, it is getting very, very difficult to buy a lake property for $250. Now, his house, we still agree, is not a great place, right? This is not something that everyone are going to be beating down the door if he puts it on the market to be like, I can't wait to live here all summer, right? Like we get it. No offense, right? You got an old house and it needs work and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully I'm not saying anything offensive, but even then if you look at the actual sales comps for small houses, 1,000 square feet or less, those things on the lake, on maybe true lakefront, are selling for $350, $400 or more. So, there's quite a bit of difference there. And maybe that's the houses more than the land. But I mean, the county really we wouldn't know what to do. There is not going to be a sales comp of a house that has a wide open view of the lake, but is also somewhat restricted in how easy it is to get their boat in and out. So, the county's saying you guys already made adjustments last year and to stick with those adjustments, but you guys can look and see if you think there's something more that can be done. We're open to hear your thoughts.
That's why I have the heating pures
Oh, gotcha.
for my primary heat source. Because you've seen my electrical obsolescence going on here, it's just
That was a big deal.
getting more and more.
Well, it's gonna be wonderful.
So it's there, but it's not working.
Be my 53rd summer.
You said that the 15% on the land is kind of consistent with the others that are up on the actual channel.
10 of it is from his location. So 5 of it is just still from excess frontage that
Okay.
everybody on the lake, once you get to a certain size, starts having influences based on size. I would have to pull up the other channel, but I pulled up a couple and they had 15 or 20, depending on how wide their
Okay.
lot was. So I'm assuming that 10% is consistent. But
Okay.
Do we have any?
Well, at this time, I would like to make a motion that upon review of actions taken by this board in prior years, and the fact that we still have lake view and actual water, even though it's only a couple of feet deep in front of the home, that my recommendation is that we make no changes.
I'll second that motion.
So we have a motion and a second to maintain no changes. Is there any further discussion or question?
Not at this time. If for some reason you can get something with the state where they would declare that as a channel or something, then that could change.
It's obvious it's a channel.
I know it is. So I have no further.
Okay. So all in favor signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Sorry.
and you have a second parcel as well, right?
I do.
Okay,
Okay.
Let's go
let's
right
go
in.
right to that one.
I just don't know what your reasoning is to raise that. We raised it the last 5 years. Here we go again.
Take just a moment to get that up.
And I keep getting letters from my congressmen and senators saying they're cutting property taxes. Somebody's lying to me.
So are you, oh, you read this one in at the same time, so that's already been
Yes.
there, okay.
I gotta close it.
Where's this one?
That's the back lot with the garage on it?
Yes. Yes, right there.
Okay. Um,
This is the 20.
So it appears that the land went up $100.
I don't.
No, by the time it all settled, I think the land's down a little bit. We settled at a prelim last year at 3,300 on the land because it's on his woods.
Okay.
So it's getting an ag rate with the woodland.
Yeah, thank you for doing that last year. Yeah, you dropped it 3,000%.
Was that one of those that were considered excess acreage or something that they were doing?
Right, right. Yeah, so it went from excess res to agricultural wood. Most of the increase this year is just from the garage itself. I mean, cost tables change, trending happens, and
Is that a living area on top of the garage,
No,
I think it's just open.
just open?
storage, big closet.
We all have those.
I wish I had. Oh.
So the increase in the improvements is based upon,
Yeah, so in 25, part of it was the state finally got around to increasing their cost tables pretty dramatically in some cases. We roughly say across the board 30%. So some categories were a little different than others. And then there's always going to be trending, but since this is a detached garage, there's not even a trending factor. So this is just going to be from the costs that have increased. There's not going to be a comp for this, obviously. I think what everyone would have to sit down and say is it is, what are we talking, 20, 30 years old? 1995?
Built the garage in 95, I believe.
Yeah. I still think it's in fairly good shape from our last photo in 23, but all I can tell you is my own experience in building a pool garage, but that was in 21. So that's fairly new compared to this, but it also didn't have an upstairs. So, I mean,
And this has electricity,
Yes,
any plumbing or anything?
I have a water hookup out there, but it's not currently in use.
does it have its own well or is that running across?
It's got to run it from my house. I got it.
under the-
We buried a pipe all the way over there,
Did you get,
running off my well pit in the front of my property, all the way around to the back and then to the garage.
And no septic?
No,
so was it dropped already, the assessed value a little bit? Because I have two postings for 2025 and the second one is smaller.
It was because of the agricultural rate
Yeah.
dropped
Okay,
after we posted.
okay,
Yes, in all their wisdom, the legislators retroacted a change to the ag rate after all the counties had already certified values.
okay. So that's why there's two postings.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would have gone from 27.3 to the 34.5 between the 2 years. Is that right?
The final 24 value was 3,300 and it went to 3,100 with the ag change. So,
So the cost of the improvements.
right, you're looking at the overall, yeah, 27.3 to 34.5
Okay.
is the total value change.
after 20 years, it'll be obsolete too, right?
Well, when you do fall into the question, would you sell the property for that dollar?
For what figure?
For 34,500?
Actually, no, that's a loaded question because I would sell that property with the lakefront property, so I cannot determine that factor. I would-
In your mind, do you feel that that is a fair number for the value of that property if you were to sell
Which number are we looking at? Just that property alone without the garage? I mean, with the building?
it? With the building and everything, that whole lot and the building, if somebody came up, a third party, and offered you $34,500, would you take it?
Probably not.
Okay.
Like I say, I'm gonna sell that with the lakeside residents, so it's gonna be a,
The two combined.
Combined deal, I can-
Overall value.
yes, yes. No, but I put that on the market and be gone in 2 minutes if I put it for $34,000.
Yeah, and unfortunately on lake property, everyone knows this, storage is the premium. I mean, if there's a house down the road that's nice and newer and year round, they most likely don't have a place to put a detached garage. So he probably wouldn't sell it like this. He'd carve out a quarter acre around it, keep the
Right.
woods.
I could sell lots for 50 grand a piece.
And again, no offense, the detached garage might be worth more than his house. You know what I mean? For an actual sale price. If you were just talking about the structures themselves, because somebody would go in there and say, okay, now I got a place to put my toys. We're going to convert the upstairs to extra bedrooms for when our guests come, even if there's no bathroom there. I mean, I used to deliver my camper to the lake because people just needed beds. They didn't even hook it up. They just we just need a place for people to sleep, and they'd park in their driveway. So, I mean, lakes are unique, right? And you know this, you've been 53 years, right? You know how it is. That detached garage is probably worth more. I mean, his lakefront land is worth the most, right? Above all the pieces, but the garage probably holds more value to it. Someone who would want to buy than his house does. So
the true value of your property is probably closer to the older assessment before it was changed to agriculture.
Yeah, that might be a little high. I mean, I don't know if someone's going to pay 80,000+ for a detached garage, but yeah, I've seen it all. I don't want to put a number on it because I don't want to taint your guys' opinion. I just think it's currently not a bad value. We'll put it that way. But
Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we keep the value for Michael Bremer, based on the evidence presented. Unless we have something showing a little bit more value, what it should be or something, that we deny the change and leave it as is.
I will second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to maintain the assessor's value of $34,500 to Mr. Brainerd's backlot. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion opposed, motion carries.
Are these my copies here? All right, thank you. Thank you for your time.
See you next week.
Probably.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
We'll have to work on that CNR again to clean that mess up.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
I have some paperwork to do. I suppose if he was unhappy, he would get his second bite and he could come back.
Yeah, so we just forego the hearing, formal hearing. that starts.
Yeah. I just said that I would tell them that him and I are going to work it out. And again, it's one of those unique properties on the lake he's on. It's hard. You're not going to find comps that are even at what he paid for, but it was on the market. So not much we can do about that. All right. Where is this? 980.
Okay. Ian?
This is an administrative hearing being held on September 9, 2025 in the LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. The proceeding number is 44-013-25-0-5-00018. The parcel number is 44-09-22-200-010.021-013. The property address is 5380 South 980 East, Wolcottville, Indiana, 46795. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree the year under appeal is as stated?
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I'm Secretary of the PTABOA.
The following other persons are here representing the PTABOA.
Jennifer Beachy.
Joe Billman.
I'm Deb Notstein. The following persons are here representing the taxpayer. Please state your name.
Charles Gaff.
Denise Gaff.
The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild,
Josh Pettit with Nexus.
Will all persons who are may be witness in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the information, testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Help me God.
All right. So our procedure is that you may present your evidence and your situation. Then we will listen to the assessor's office. We will confer and come up with a decision. So
Okay, the red flag was the initial notification that our property value had gone up to $401,000. And did not agree with that number, like, that's ridiculous. And so in response, you'd think I'd be happy with it, but it dropped to 378. So went down $23,000 on my protest from 401 to 378. Simply nothing more than saying, I disagree, and it dropped dramatically. Well, $23,000. Then it came back at 378, and we've noticed over the last 3 years, it has climbed. It escalated dramatically. However, as you might have the illustration, we did add on garage space, which included a 135 square foot area for entryway. None of the garage has any kind of plumbing at all. It's just simply garage space, as you were indicating.
yeah,
You live on a lake, you want storage. So it's on our property now. My argument is that the increase, and Denise has her glasses on and my glasses on, has still gone up dramatically. And it's like, based upon what? And then also what we don't know is, we filed for the homestead exemption. We don't know whether that's reflected. What does that tax number reflect? I mean, does it include the discounts that we were entitled to when we bought the property 5 years ago?
That's a great question to ask.
Can you click on that and pull up Beacon on theirs to tell them what, or even you can, I guess she's got it up here. What exemptions? So just so you know, so the value and the exemptions are two totally different worlds, right? So
Okay.
the value can do whatever the value is supposed to do to get to market value. And then your exemptions would come off the higher or the low, whatever that number is, there's a percentage or specific. Scroll up. Is there no exemption section at all then for them? Right. There's also a place though that normally tells you how much they're getting, so they don't even have that section. So is this your primary residence?
Yes,
And it has been since 2020? Did you move?
yes.
Like
we
when I
moved
saw
in
the property
June
was
of
bought in
2020.
Section. Yeah, usually there's another section,
Right. That means they don't have any, like they're not getting any exemptions at all.
which is kind of what we were wondering, what happened.
So that is a completely separate issue that
Okay,
you want to get figured out yesterday. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's the same thing, the one you sat in here with the little old gentleman. You know, there is state law that will, I don't even know if you would get the exemptions for pay. Well, 26 you could. I think you can do it to the end of the year.
well, if we can
And
do it
fix-
going forward, that's better.
Yeah, but I hate when
I mean,
I hate when a taxpayer comes in and like, you've missed out on exemptions for 4
Yeah.
years, 5 years. Yeah.
Would it-
Why would that be? I don't understand.
So-
that at all.
Yeah, I won't pretend to know exactly how that system works, but I've bought and sold houses enough or refinanced. Every time you buy a house or refinance, the title company should have some paperwork that indicates whether it's your primary, but you still have to come in and prove that it is your primary residence. So
When we
Oh.
filed the Homestead Act, did that not prove that we're the primary owners?
if you,
I have a question though, when we, if we bought it outright,
I have it.
you have it?
So you have a mortgage
Oh,
on it?
right, so
No.
This
Homestead
is the
There's
doesn't.
wrong
no
parcel, I
mortgage.
think.
Okay.
Oh, she's on the wrong parcel.
The wrong parcel, because it says Lori Lesage.
I was gonna say, if you filed the paperwork, you should have it. Yeah, that,
I caught it when it scrolled.
We did.
and you weren't
exemption.
getting it, they could fix that, which would give you a big refund. But
Yeah, I've
but
got.
she was on the wrong parcel somehow.
So let's do
So you are getting, Yeah, start over, pretend like that never happened.
Okay.
You are getting the
With my memory issues,
standard.
I can do that.
I'm confused already.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
That's
So
okay.
deduction wise, you're getting the standard homestead, which is 48,000.
Okay.
And then you're also getting the supplemental, which is up to 35% of the remaining residential value. So
Okay.
you are getting your exemption.
Thank you.
And you would notice, I think, right? That's a huge deduction that you would, like, your taxes would be outrageously high.
I can, that's why we're here.
You're like, "That's already outrageously high." I know this is no consolation, but believe it or not, Indiana taxes are very, very low compared to most places. So,
We won't argue with that.
yeah,
We've
yeah,
got
yeah.
friends
It
that live
doesn't mean it
outside of
makes it any
Chicago.
easier on your pocketbook, right? I'm just saying it's, especially if I've born and raised, always lived here. So this is only.
So is the 401 that big jump? Mostly because I heard you say earlier there was like a 30% increase.
Yeah, but
Because-
with houses, it's a little different because
Oh.
even though that jump happened, there is a factor that goes on for every neighborhood based on sales. So what you're experiencing over the last 4 or 5 years is just simply the residential real estate market has been outpacing any time in history. So the good news is you're talking to, I would like to think, one of the most knowledgeable people in the residential real estate, because I also teach a class on it every year. And so if I don't have the exact statistics in my brain, but if you go back to the last 5 years, it's been on the average house. So not a lake house or lake area or lake access or anything. So the average house, whether it's downtown Indianapolis or out in the country, has risen 66% in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Now, if you get to lake houses, like I also bought a lake house in 19, it's gone crazy, right? Compared to what I bought it for. And when you get to a certain level, you actually will see that decrease compared to the 300. I was talking to one guy. You can't buy a house for 300,000 anymore on the lake. That's nice and livable. It doesn't exist. Whereas just 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you could buy a nice house, and you guys are off water. So I'm
Right.
saying
We're
you can
not
still buy a
lakefront.
house on a lake in this county for 260, 270,000. That was livable year round on the water. And now you're not going to touch that for 450. The same house, went from 280 to 450, just like that. And so,
But that's lakefront.
sure. But every neighborhood's experienced that. Even here, come downtown LaGrange, right? A house in downtown LaGrange 5 years ago, you could still find them for 120. Now those houses are 180, 200. And it's like the affordability, like we're lucky. We live in, I assume it's a nice house. You just add it on, right? My house is nice. I'm lucky. A lot of people are, but there are people that can't, and this is not about you. You can't afford a house anymore. In the downtown LaGrange area, people can't afford a house because they went from, 80 10 years ago to 120 5 years ago to 200 today, and it's like, it's insane. So a lot of what you're seeing in the increase is just that market appreciation.
Wow.
But you are seeing the addition of the garage and a little bit of living space, right? And so I think what the county tried to do is say, okay, well, what was the cost compared to before you built it, right? And so if we add the value.
You mean, what was the value before we added on?
Yeah. So last year we were at 360, and then the new construction ended up jumping that to 480 with the new construction and the market appreciation. And so I think what Kim, is this the one that I think you went back and tried to say, well, if we just take the appreciated house plus the new construction, what does that do? And that's where her new number came from.
Okay, let me ask you a question regarding the new construction. We gained, if you ever take a square foot or two, 135 square feet,
Right.
which constitutes the new entryway.
Right.
The house did not have an entryway. An obvious one. So that 135 square feet, the rest of it is total garage space, unimproved garage space. Are we taxed the same as if it was livable area?
So the rate would be different.
That's the one I'm going after.
Yeah, the rate would be, so I would have to do the math, but even like you guys have some finished attic space, as we call it, because it doesn't have dormers, like, so above
Oh,
Look,
we have a
You're,
loft.
In the
you're
house, you
upstairs.
mean?
Yeah, you're
And a loft.
upstairs.
It has a loft.
Even that upstairs square footage is priced at a different rate to start with than the downstairs. And if it was a true 2-story, it'd be taxed at a different rate than downstairs and different than your finished
But
attic
that is,
area.
that's the question that we're trying to get answered
Yeah.
is, was the majority of, would it have been 93.4% of that construction
We
is
have the old
garage
card.
space? What rate was that? Are we paying that on?
Can you bring up
Is
the
it livable
old
space?
card?
Is it loft space? Is it?
Because it has
As a
power, but
garage
no
space,
water.
So
You
the
couldn't,
135 or 138 square feet area of addition, is that heated and cooled with the rest of the house?
No. Well,
yeah,
because,
with the rest of
well,
the house.
there's no duct work to that area,
But that is open into the.
to the kitchen area.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that would be considered in addition to.
Yeah,
Yes,
bring it
that would
exactly.
be
And we
130.
understand that part of it totally. But what we suspect is, especially based upon this illustration, is that the rest of that area is not heated. It is not plumbed. It has electric, that's it. And as he indicated, that's probably should be at a different rate than what the living area would be, like that 135 square foot area is now. And that's what we don't know. And then the thing is, it went from 401 down to 378, when I just simply said,
Well, he explained that.
that seems like a lot of money.
He just explained that.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a little difficult because you had a single car garage,
Yes.
correct? And you must have either, did you tear that whole section down or cut it in half to get the living space?
Cut
Because
it in half
I'm just
to get
looking at
the
the
entryway.
We cut,
polygons,
we
you know?
cut the wall out. It would have been the north wall of that little garage
Okay,
and built from there further out.
okay.
And used half of that was garage space as new living area,
Entryway.
as new entryway area.
So I want to try to answer your question as muddled as it is the best I can. And if I go back to 2024, the
That is when this picture was taken, was 2024.
No, 2023, Chuck.
That was
It's not
2023?
finished. It's not finished. Oh, yeah, it says so right there,
I'm gonna get it without the
2023,
Okay,
because we finished it in 2024.
Okay, this number.
The reason why we're asking is before we built on, we investigated this and we had an idea of what our taxes would be. I realized that tax rate might have changed a little bit, but we were just kind of shocked at where it went.
Okay, so here's this. So that would be this.
Okay,
So that's why we're making sure that unit that was aware that's not livable
just
space.
so, and who did you talk to? Someone in our office or?
No, we talked
Talk to
to,
general contractors.
yeah,
Things like
yeah.
that. So, yeah. Never trust general contractors. They want to build your house, right? They don't.
well, he's a friend, so we were hoping he was being honest with us.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is in 24, the base cost for the house was 194, excuse me, 194. And then you have to add the quality factor. I'm trying to do it without the garage. Was 2096. And so that same factor, that same number shows up as replacement cost 290.
Right.
So the difference between the old house and the new house is about 80 some thousand, 90,000, almost 100,000 difference.
is that
The base
based on
cost.
those, on that time frame's dollar?
Yeah, so
Dollars.
that's like the cost tables of
Okay.
pre-change and post-change. So the cost tables alone and the additional square footage, so that little bit of additional square footage and the cost tables made almost $100,000 in difference of the base cost. Now, it also picked up a little bit of depreciation because it's a year older, and it also would pick up a different market factor. So a good example is before they changed the cost, the neighborhood factor out there was a 1.58. So basically it was multiplying it by 185% to get to the market value of the house. After they changed the cost, now your neighborhood factor is a 157. So you can see we tried to actually adjust back down with those factors because the costs are finally getting, because really what that factor is doing is not only picking up appreciation in the market, it's also fixing any problems in the state cost tables, right? If costs were 50% too low,
Oh,
the very first day you'd have a 50% plus factor, right? Just to get back to the right cost. So there's some, it's kind of muddled. I hope that you're following a little bit, but in the end, yeah, there was a pretty big increase, and then we tried to mitigate some of that increase by lowering the factor. And it should all be based on sales. Now, for this property, the real question is, I think, how much was it worth before, which we don't know, and you guys probably don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know if 2024 was correct at 360. But we do know that they probably are getting most of their investment out of it in the beginning, right? So if it cost them $60,000 for the addition in the garage, then they're probably getting most of that in value. If it cost them 160, they're probably getting most of that. You guys do not have to say anything that would cause you to hurt your value. But I think that's the question you ask yourself. If last year's value felt close and we add our new construction cost, are we close to the correct value there?
Okay, let me ask you a question regarding it then. When we purchased the house, obviously we did comps of the area. Does this number, I think currently we're at 368 or what are we at now? 378 at this point. You mentioned it. The housing in the area, I don't know that are going up at the rate that our place is going up. I was trying to do, matter of fact, I was on the internet yesterday trying to get some answers to that very question. How do we compare to our neighborhood, to that environment? You know, and it just seems like, and I appreciate your efforts trying to mitigate these increases. It's incredible in itself, but nevertheless, there's a lot of unanswered questions. Like, what are we paying for? And I don't mind paying taxes. I mean, I do, but I don't. I mean, taxes do bring us a lot of nice things, public speaking. But I'd like to know where that money's going. What do we, you know?
it's a different question.
No, it is not a different question, not in my mind. It's like, what are we paying for? What is that money getting? What are those property taxes getting for the county? What's the county doing with those property taxes? And how much of that are we paying? And is it legit? I mean, is it a fair share?
Right. So the fastest answer to what are my taxes paying for is when you can get a copy of that if you don't have a copy. When you get your tax bill, it actually breaks down your rate. So it tells you how much of the rate is going to libraries or municipalities or to the county or schools and I don't know, that page right there, that one right there. You just flip through.
No, I know that. Yeah. No, and I really don't have a problem with
If you
any
go
of
to this
I was wondering
page-
if I had it.
Yeah, I think I saw
He
it.
just saw
I
it.
think it's this one right here with the QR code on it.
But-
But one more.
This
This.
one.
That's
So
an
this
old one,
breaks
remember?
down your rate
Yeah.
from what the rate was for 24 and the change from 23 to 24.
They said they
So this would tell you that this is everything that yours is paying for. Now, I'm not quite sure what special is. You might ask a question for that one.
at least have the
But your county is getting this much of your rate, the library,
Okay.
the school district. So, yeah, and then obviously inside, say like the county rate is gonna be the roads and the sheriff and the county government and all of those things. I don't know the breakdown there, but that's a good start, right? To say, what am I paying for?
Thank you.
What it changed.
So the thing with what we're paying is what I think I'm hearing you say. is that It was reduced to 378, but it was not living space. Our garage was not
No, you're.
taxed according to living space.
Yeah, and so if you look at this
Yeah.
property rent card, which is what you have in front of you, but I flipped it over.
We were just wondering, because they're
This
saying.
is, as you work
138
down,
living- I know you guys
this
said you
is
adjusted it.
the
I just like to see it. But 'cause
before
it's originally
depreciation
showing
and
384 square
depreciation
feet
of this
of
square
living.
footage. And then this is how I knew you
On
had
that
some
new
sort of
addition
attic
part.
space. And we can discuss what that means.
I know
It's
what you mean.
loft.
That's
It's
the
a
loft.
loft.
And then the crawl space has some value because you had to build it, and there's a slab, we don't even value the slab portion, which I think is the new.
Yes, that's awesome.
Okay, because you guys said the value.
So that breaks down. Now you're gonna have some addition of air conditioning.
This one
For the
still-
If you
improvements.
had geothermal, we'd take the heat out and the air conditioning out, and there'd be a separate line for geothermal, which you could exempt off, you know, so you might, if you see other cards, you know why they have
Okay.
We have AC.
no AC and no heat sometimes. is because
Yeah,
of
did I put the wrong values on there?
This is plumbing, so the standard house comes
There are
with
improvements.
5
Yeah.
fixtures.
Like when you made the changes to get there, did you
So
change
we're
the
adding
living
$800
space?
per fixture, and you can just work your
Because
way
on the
down.
picture, you can tell the garage is
This
definitely wider than what it's drawn.
Exterior
onto.
features is being added, which is gonna be your wood deck and your little porch on the front. You got a little porch left over in the back.
Yeah, we do.
You have-
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so you
those
did
add up
discuss
to these
it.
exterior feature
So you've got
numbers, which is
192, because he's
17.6.
saying.
The garage
there's
now, the full
138
garage
Living space.
is
and the rest
valued
is garage. So
before
I'm wondering
all of
if
that
This
stuff
is garage.
at 38,000.
This is the entry.
So they're, the
Okay.
the
It
state
goes
is
that
saying
whole
you can
length.
build that garage for 38,000, just the garage part.
Okay, so then maybe
And
these
then the
numbers.
quality is because we have you at a C+1, which is just a little over average. Like, you know, think of C grade as an average student. The
Yeah,
higher you
okay,
go in the
gotcha.
grade system, the better it is. The lower you go, the worse it is.
Let's see, went into
Um,
here.
So it's getting a little bump on the grade, and the location multiplier is something that the state puts out.
There's
We
a
think
foot
it's-
difference in here.
It subtracts 6%
I
there.
don't
So
know
this
what
is your
it
total
is.
replacement
'Cause
cost.
this
If
is
you had to-
31 and that's.
They're saying if you had to
36.
build this from scratch, it would cost that.
Yeah, this looks more like what the
Yeah.
picture
What's it
does.
say?
290.
And then when he sent
So
me his
they're still
information,
wrong.
Yeah,
They're-
still
Yeah, they've
wrong.
raised them
There's no
30%,
way.
and they're still wrong, right? You go,
Yeah.
if you had to build that house, it would cost more.
When you say we get compared to our neighborhood that helps drive this tax rate too, are we compared to the cottages in front of us that are lakefront?
Your neighborhood is the off-water Long Lake Park.
So it is off water,
It's,
okay.
it's only the off-water.
Okay, well
ones.
then that's more
And
fair.
there's probably some argument because of the lawsuit years ago, right? Those people on the lakefront are still getting their own neighborhood.
Yeah.
They could probably be
Yeah.
like, well, we're not lakefront.
Which he might want to see that we research.
Oh, they are
We're-
lakefront.
We're still treating you as such. Yeah.
He's questioning about.
And really, that's where it gets difficult, even with the previous taxpayer is a lot of these
I just thought
labels-
maybe that's because he was asking about that.
don't have any legal
I meant-
recourse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if
legal
someone, in front of-
definition.
if someone way up in front of you guys wanted to say, well, we're not lakefront, but your neighborhood says
I just
lakefront.
wanted to
I'd
make
be
sure it
like,
was right because I
you
could
could
tell
call
from the
it
picture.
Bobo's
From what he said.
neighborhood. I can do whatever I want, right? That the label doesn't matter. The question is, are the houses that are being used in your neighborhood to affect your value? That's where things start to matter, right? So
Right.
you wouldn't want those houses right on the lake to
No.
compare to yours.
Exactly.
And someone who is out in the country might not want your house to be a comparable, right? So, as long as that part, there's really no argument on those neighborhoods, but you are, just so you know, it's just that Long Lake. And so there's lots of fingers there of
Right.
Long Lake Park. So they're all encompassed in that. All those fingers off water are all part of the same neighborhood.
Okay. So after this, do we have to do anything to accept the new tax rate?
So maybe.
So.
Because we
Yeah,
didn't
always make
sign,
sure
we
use the right
accepted.
Terms. We don't do anything with rates. I know what you're trying to say, but
Okay.
yeah, so the question is, do you agree with the final value? And if not, they're going to make a determination anyways, one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you can put off making that decision for 3 more minutes and they'll probably say something to us and make a determination.
No pressure.
Yeah. But I will tell you, I make no guarantees. Yours went up a little more than normal. But what you typically see is as values increase, because Indiana resets the rate every year. So unlike our neighboring states where they set a millage rate and then when they increase values, they collect more taxes. Indiana determines how much taxes we're allowed to collect first. So they cap the amount of taxes, like the city can only collect so much taxes.
Interesting. I wasn't
And
aware of
then they look at the total net assessment and change the rate. That's why that rate sheet is different one year to the next. And I can tell you, I'm up in Lima, Howe, Indiana, and one year values increased so much that my tax rate went down 10%. My taxes went up a little bit in the end, but my rate was slashed by like 10% because everybody's value went up so much that year that they lowered the rate. So I don't want to give you any false hope, but
But-
don't just look at last year's rate. The
Okay.
rate could change a couple percent down
Okay.
and not be quite as bad as you think on this value. So, but again, I make no guarantees because schools can mess
Oh,
up.
well, yeah.
I have a question for you, Mr. Segal. After hearing this breakdown and everything, are you more comfortable with getting your questions answered?
Yes, I am.
I am as well. And I appreciate that they changed what the value was on here. But I guess my next question is, since we said we didn't agree because we just had so many questions, do we have to do anything going forward so that that lower rate, do we just turn this in then?
If you sign that, they won't make a decision.
Oh, well, wait,
I've been here a few times, though. I think I know what their decision is going to be, and it's going to be
Okay.
the same thing.
I know which way this is going anyway.
but
But if you want, you can
But
take
we
it
don't
out of
wanna
their
take up
hands
all
and
your
sign the
time
form
and
and be
not let you
done.
make a
Yeah, we would just
decision.
be
If
like,
you want to sign the form, that would be fine with me.
You have come up with the value of $378,000 for their property.
for the improvement.
for the
Yeah.
improvement, not the property, yeah.
Okay, so now that we're all on the same, okay. So, do you want to just sign it and then just
Yeah.
withdraw? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
That
oh,
would
and
be
we
fine.
apologize for taking all your time
No,
for this,
it's
but it's
okay.
been very
It's on the
valuable to
paperwork.
us. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
don't
you.
withdraw. Don't ever say the word withdraw. That makes it go back to the old value.
Oh, no, we're not withdrawing.
Yeah, you're just.
We are not withdrawing.
You're agreeing with the assessor's change, yes.
Let the course be clear. The signature.
We aren't gonna do that.
I know we always sound like there were the bad tax man, right? But we really do try to make sure the
I
taxpayers.
do have a
don't
question
see-
regarding this Form 134. Why is my name only on it? Why isn't hers also?
Are you the only one on the title?
No,
I don't think so.
shouldn't be the only one on the title.
No, it's, so the way that your name is on the first line of the owner,
Yeah,
and then the second line is the trustee of Charles and Denise. So it just
because we
prints
put it
out,
in the trust.
yeah.
Yeah, so
We
it's
put it
just
in
spitting out the
trust.
top.
We're
line
getting
of
old.
this.
Oh, this is spinning
Yeah,
out.
it's
Yeah, it just-
auto-filling this with the
It
top
just printed
line.
out the
That makes
first
sense,
line.
so.
Thank you. I was
So-
hoping I was still in there.
You're on the second line.
Yeah, that's okay. I
I don't
don't
know
like
if it's
that.
ever helped or not, but I've always put my
Construction.
wife on the property, but not on the mortgage. I don't know if it would make a difference or not, but.
Well, fortunately for this one, we don't have the mortgage, so. Okay, well, we'll let you get on, carry on.
Can we
Thank
go
you.
ahead and finish?
Yes,
Do we have a motion regarding the situation?
I'll make a motion that since the taxpayer and the county came to terms that we neglect any, or we can get any of our further actions.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second, since the taxpayer and the county have come to an agreement on values, that we would just accept their decision. Is there any further discussion?
Absolutely not.
Hearing that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Thanks for coming in.
yes, thank you very much for
And who
your
gets
time.
this? You get this? And do we get a copy of this then? Are you gonna send us a?
She said she'd send us one. Oh, I like your necklace.
Oh, jeez.
She didn't say a thing about my outfit.
I'm sorry.
That's why I brought her along.
I was really worried when I opened the door for the first guy. I was like, do I have to open the door for everybody now? I just said, shouldn't I? I don't want to think.
Thank you, gentlemen, ladies.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
coming in.
Good?
Thank you for patiently waiting.
Oh, that's okay.
Hopefully didn't scare you off.
Oh, no.
We're still here.
All right.
Who is this? Next. Oh. Next.
Where'd he go?
2025 in the LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. Proceeding number is 44-010-25-0-5-00010. The parcel number is 44-10-32-200-070.001-010. The property address is 7185 South 170 East, Wolcottville, Indiana, 46795. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree the year under appeal is as stated?
Yes. Yeah.
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I'm the secretary of the PTABOA.
The following other persons are here representing the PTABOA.
Jennifer Beachy.
Joe Billman.
I'm Deb Notstein. The following persons are here representing the taxpayer.
Carl Beckstead.
Catherine Hoekstra.
The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild,
Josh Pettit with Nexus.
Will all persons who are may be witness in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
So our procedure is that you can give us your evidence, your situation, tell us what's going on. The county will give us their information. We will review it and as a board come to a decision. So.
Okay.
proceed.
I'm going to have my daughter do the talking because my memory it's gone.
That's fine.
So,
Sure.
yeah.
Just a little backstory on why we're here today, I guess, and why we haven't done this years ago. His wife passed away many years ago, and he went, when he got married, he went straight from Vietnam to getting married. And at the time that she passed away, he had never, balanced a checkbook, seen a bill, anything. So at the time that she passed, I took care of all of the bills, everything for him. But then now, several years ago, he was in a place that he was able to, pay his taxes, insurance, and do everything on his own. So I let him do it because he, nothing was late. He was doing a good job. So, but when we were relooking at getting new insurance policies, I'm looking at his real estate taxes, and I guess I was very blown away at the price, his assessed value, how much it had gone up. It's something, unfortunately, I neglected to pay attention to for the last several years. So that's why we're here today, because I strongly disagree with it, unfortunately. He purchased his home in 2012, and in 2013, he did have a garage built on. That said, it was just a garage, not insulated. The only portion of it that is insulated is the portion that attaches to the house, because we had to insulate it and put drywall there in order to, there was a fire code issue, so we had to have that done. But other than that, the garage is not insulated. It's very basic. It was just so he could, because he's older, so he could get into the house and not have to walk in the snow, etc. Other than that, nothing in the house, unfortunately, has been updated. It still has the original floors, which are very uneven, needs a new roof. The well pump is going out. Most recently, a pipe was disconnected underneath the laundry room that was causing water to splatter up. And when we hired a plumber to come out and fix it, he couldn't even get to it because of where this homing addition was put on. So we had to cut a hole in the floor in order to get to it. In the spare bathroom, the shower is not usable. In the master bathroom, when he first moved in, I think this was in 2012, before the garage addition, there was a leak and there was a lot of mold. So we had that fixed, but he has no bathtub anymore in there. He still has a shower. The tile for the sump pump that has, tell me if I'm not explaining this right, Dad, the tile for the sump pump during the winter when it froze, broke. So that's, another thing that needs to be fixed. The house is very dated. There's still paneling, not drywall. Regarding not the house, not the improvement portion, but regarding the actual property,
I guess you would see across the street there, a very large home was built a few years ago. And because that large home was built, every time it rains, the water comes down and it completely floods 190 or 170, sorry, there. And then water gets into his garage. And I mean, the water is so high there on the road that even ducks go swimming. So, and you know, we can't mow unless like we have a drought because it gets so wet. And yeah, our seawall is not concrete. It needs to be replaced. That's been estimated like a $17,000 repair. It's the smallest, you know, just by looking at the property maps, it's the smallest seawall in all of Whitmer Manor. And we're just, you know, kind of wondering what's, you know, going on. We've seen comparable houses actually sell for a lot, considerably amount less. You know, we always know that from my understanding, market value, you know, assessed value is usually a fraction of the market value. And it seems like what his property is valued at is quite the opposite. And I look at the property which I find is most comparable. What is it? It's, what's his property? 7235 South 190 East. It's at the end of the channel. That's Kenny Beckstead's property, 4 channels down. But, you know, he has more of a land value. He has a massive pool barn. And his assessed value is considerably lower. Considerably lower. And I know his market value, because prior to coming here, we consulted with Chris Will. He's a realtor at Mike Thomas. But, you know, his market value would be considerably higher than what my father's would be. So it's just
Why these are on here? Like what the label is?
sure. It's 7235 South 190 East.
That card is in your file.
Yeah, we had submitted that as well when we first appealed, along with photos of his neighbor, the house directly next door, which is a rental property. And you know, there's a dead tree that we're just waiting to, you know, for it to fall over and land on this pontoon, and our roof sinking in, and it's just a tear down. So, so yeah, I guess we're just wanting some explanation on why the, you know, improvements in land value are so high, because we could absolutely never, ever sell his house for the amount that you have it assessed at.
Interesting.
Josh,
Yes.
would you like to respond, please?
My first thought is I need to go on a field trip.
Now, is this field trip including their property or just like Disney?
It's just their property.
Okay.
Yeah. I think part, like, just listening to, like, I'd like to see the condition of the property. That's not going to
And come
fix
inside,
the land.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's not, and we obviously typically don't go inside houses, right, until we get to this point where it's like a real question of, I mean, we have it as 1975, so we didn't do anything major with an effective age, but it is an average, you know, and
And nothing's been, I mean,
it doesn't sound all that average.
sound average.
Yeah.
well, and I know the trend now, you know, you buy a lake house, you update it, you know, everyone's got the farmhouse style. He's done
Right.
nothing. I mean, this is his retirement home. We don't plan to do anything.
So, yeah, I think his house in normal sellable condition is probably assessed fairly close, right? I don't know if it's in that condition. I do want to look at his brother's property. We looked and it is quite a different property, right? It is much larger. It's also, it's very odd shaped
Yeah.
also. But I do think they have similar things in the fact that their lake frontage is very restricted because of their corner access.
But his seawall is much, much, much larger than my
Yeah.
father's.
Yeah.
His seawall
Yeah,
goes all the way
no,
around. But
so-
ours is,
I do think his brother has some influences on for the sheer size of it as well, but I do think there's probably a land influence that can go on due to its unique
Can we
shape.
just table it till you can review it again?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to put things off, but I think we probably have a condition issue. And we also then probably have, we probably agree to do something to the land.
Yeah, I think.
It's probably not gonna be as aggressive percentage wise when you add up all the reasons that his brother's is, but it's also smaller, so it should make quite a bit of a difference. You know, instead of only being $3,000 difference, you know, maybe we talk about $20,000 difference in land value, and then when we adjust the house as well, you know, we could be at a much more reasonable value. Because overall, they're not, I mean, I was looking at the two houses, you know, they're close in size.
The houses are fairly close in
Yeah.
size. The garages, while ours is attached, I mean, his is detached, but he also has, you know, an upstairs as well.
On the new one, the new card. Yeah.
And there was also, do you mind if I point out a property over here? If you go back to, you can stay down, Dad.
Okay.
I know, it would also be scroll up just a little bit on the map.
Previous people, they just want to get stuff in the end, it happens all the time.
I want to, go down this property. Here. Yep, right here. This property here recently sold probably 3 months ago. They had it listed. No, where'd it go? This one? Yeah, this one here. I think that sold 3 months ago, and it was, the original list price was $325, and it sold for much less. I think is that Mary's house, Dad, that I'm looking at?
No.
No, that's not it. I'm sorry.
And there's a
Go back to the back, if you don't mind.
436.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it.
Okay, where's my house? You trying to find
Yeah.
Mary's house?
Oh,
Both
right
of them.
here.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes, this house. It recently sold for
Show her again, she can
$325.
click on that.
Show me again.
I
There are
believe
three
it's,
rear lots and one front lot.
Mary's house,
There's
it's,
a-
oh, it's this
might
one,
be
isn't
the-
it?
the land
This one here.
No.
assessed.
That's not Mary's.
This one, next one. Let me see if
Yeah,
that one's
yeah,
it.
there you
This is
go.
what that one is?
Yeah,
Is it this one? Can you
Yep.
click on that one?
Yeah, just south of that one, there you go.
That's
Yes,
Ellinger. Gary
Yes,
and Kelsey.
but they recently sold it they listed it for $325 and it sold for much less. They also have a massive garage, much larger than ours, that has a full upstairs living space. So, and the condition on the inside of their house needed work. I wouldn't say it needed as much work as my dad's, but it still needed some work. But it was very comparable, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Both of their bathrooms were usable. Yeah, so, but, I mean, the market value on the house must have been around $325 because that's what they sold it for. So I'm just,
yeah, that.
you know, why his assessed value is $436, I have no idea. No idea, because we could, I mean, according to our realtor, I mean, we would sell it for like tops $310. So,
I'm also curious, he has, this is his brother's house. I assume that's
Because he-
how,
I'm not saying
Oh,
it's
yeah.
yours, but I don't-
that's huge.
Yeah.
I agree.
and in addition, and this is just because I was not familiar, but I probably should have, does he have to apply for the over 65 credit? I don't think that's something that I ever applied him
I think you
for.
do.
Because, I mean, he just lives off Social Security, so he's definitely under that income
I would
limit.
Phrase the question is, you know, what else is he entitled to? You know, being a veteran, he may be able to get something else there too.
He's got.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
I don't think he is as a veteran, the research I've done. I just saw the over
Is it just-
65
is it
credit.
just
I don't know
disabled
what
veterans?
other
He's got the
It
blind.
never hurts to ask.
No.
Okay, and who do we ask?
auditor.
The auditor? Okay,
And that's at the end of the hall here on the right.
okay,
He's got the blind and disabled.
He does have that.
okay, yeah, he
Well, I
is
don't-
disabled. He was considered disabled in 2008.
So, do we have a motion regarding Mr. Beckstead's property?
Just do- okay. That's what I thought, sorry. Looking at those. I make a motion that for Mr. Carl Beckstead's property that we table it and have the assessor's office review it.
I will second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to table Mr. Beckstead's property until a county assessor can review it and, so is there any further discussion?
So can I ask, after it's re-reviewed, will we then have another date to discuss, or how do we?
We'll give you a value, and if we agree, then you would have to come back here. If you still agree with the new value, we'd probably have to redo this.
Okay, will we receive that in the mail, or a call? It's just if he receives a phone call, he's not going to understand.
Yeah, I won't understand.
Yeah, well, and we can call you also.
Okay,
if we need to. Do you want to make sure we have your number?
yes,
in that
please.
file pack? And then are you guys gonna be there after, like, I have a few more hearings, but.
No, I have to get back to the office, so I'm in
Okay,
Fort
okay.
Wayne, so,
So what should I try to set something up when you can be there?
oh, yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, no problem.
So my number is 260-602.
Hang on, my pen didn't want to write.
No, that's okay.
260, go ahead.
602-1698. And again, my name is Catherine, Kathryn, Hoekstra, Hoekstra.
Okay. Your daughter.
Yes, I'm the daughter.
Yeah, you definitely.
Daughter,
give her a call.
caregiver.
Caregiver, everything.
I'll try to just work it out. Like I said, there's a lot of days that I'm in the area, so we can.
Okay.
Maybe set something up and find out what works for you.
Okay. Is there usually a time frame where this would all occur? I'm just trying to think, whenever we find out I work in tax also, so like just trying to get things done before January 1st hits, or else you're not going to see me again.
Yeah.
So, I'm just thinking, if it.
Yeah, like I said, I was willing to go down today. So it's one of
Right.
those things that it's really just going to depend on your schedule, and then it will only take the day I go look at it is the day I'll make changes. And then
Okay.
just a couple days after that, something will get.
Okay. The week of October 13th, I am usually up here. My kids are on fall break, so I have a little bit more flexibility to make it up here. I'm just trying to make sure that we get a new assessed value before,
Yeah, no, we
before I have to go to the Indiana Board of Tax
we
Review. if that's
prefer
something that
we
have to do,
prefer
so.
all of these hearings to be done before the holidays. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a planner, so I'm just, if other steps have to be taken, like going to the Indiana.
Yeah, it could be
Board
the
of Tax
latter
Review
half of
and
that.
Things like that. So I just want to make sure that's all.
Yeah,
done
maybe
before tax.
maybe the latter half of that week we could set something up.
Okay.
I might be in Florida.
Okay, so we have our motion and the second, we've had our discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, motion
I gotta
carries.
keep that file.
That's it.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank
We
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much.
And
Yeah,
I'll look forward to hearing from you. And
Okay.
all right, thank you.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, so do I.
So I think I'm going to wait to go to the auditor's office before asking about, the additional credits until we get the new assessed value.
I say while you're here.
I would do it now.
Do it now. Okay.
Okay.
No matter what the value does, they'll still be applied.
Oh,
What we do
okay.
here won't make a difference. So,
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got a few.
Do we take this with us? Is this ours? Okay. Thank you.
Exemptions? Oh, okay.
Have a great day.
We,
Thank you, you
Thank
too.
you, Carl.
we still read them in because they have to make a determination.
So who do we have? We've got
We have
Bontrager.
Bannon in here.
Before we get on with all of those, the one TA Investments, we believe he's trying to settle. He said, he finally emailed back his 130 they do support a value of at least the assessment, if not more, the couple of parcels that have sold on the channels. So we had recommended no change to the taxpayer and have not received a reply. So we're also asking you to side with the county for no change. So a total value of 536,400 is what I've got. That's right.
Any questions from anyone?
I have no further questions.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I'm willing to make a motion to accept the stated value from the county for the Larry and Barbell Von Traeger property at the 536,400, I believe.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to accept the county assessor's office value for the Von Traeger property. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carried.
The neighbors.
PA investments.
We'll do Dannon's.
Yeah,
Then
we'll do the next one.
the other one. We'll do that one last.
Yeah.
Dannon's and Harris. Ready?
Mhm.
This is an administrative hearing being held on September 9, 2025 in the LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. The proceeding number is 44-005-25-0-5-00003. The parcel number is 44-11-25-100-039.002-005. The property address is 6225 South 070 West Wolcottville, Indiana 46795. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree with the year under appeal is as stated?
Yes.
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I'm Secretary of PTABOA.
The following other persons are here representing the PTABOA.
Jennifer Beachy.
Joe Billman.
I'm Deb Notstein. There is no one here representing the taxpayer. The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild.
Josh Pettit with Nexus. I was ready to swear in.
Will all persons who are to be witnesses please raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Since the taxpayer is not here, the county may present their evidence.
Yeah, similar to the last one, this is a Dallas channel property. Again, the limited amount of sales, same sales, but now adjusted for a different property. This one's a little newer, a little nicer. And so it actually produces a higher value when you look at their land value. Again, no reply from the taxpayer on our no change offer. And so we're just asking that the PTABOA agree to the value of $671,100.
Is there any questions?
I have glanced at some of the other properties in that neighborhood, and most of their property values are a little less than that, primarily based upon square footage.
I would have to look at that, but yeah, it could be square footage, because I think the land values are, this one's not out of line as far as a larger piece or something like that. So it is a little bit higher graded than, like, say, our comps, and it's a little bit newer than our comps. So those things, if you just look at the grade and the age alone on comp one, it's making about a $70,000 difference in value, and that's a 560 sale. The other sale is basically a $600,000 sale, but it's a 1985. So I mean, we're talking 30 years difference in home, and it's a little bit smaller. And so, yeah, these things are always a little difficult. Like, what's a C+2 versus a B-1? You could make the argument that, well, maybe we don't want to make an adjustment for that. But in the end, even if you erase those adjustments, the comps still comp out well over the assessment. So in the end, without anything to refute it, I mean, that's one thing we run into also. So far, the only evidence they've provided is we didn't make any changes, and there's been no valuation discussion at all. So I don't know how the board could do anything but say no change.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Your motion regarding,
For the Danon's property, I make a motion for no value change since there's no further evidence presented by the taxpayers.
Based upon the information presented, I will second that motion.
we have a motion and a second to accept the county assessor's value of $671,100 for the, is it Danon property? Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Just recently, so that just has a garage on it. Yes, that didn't have a house. And they assessed it that, so we're lower in that area.
I was thinking maybe that was part of their property too, but they don't even own the side yard.
Yeah, it's the one down a little bit.
Yeah. I see that one. Okay.
Harris next.
Ready? This is an administrative hearing being held on September 9, 2025 in LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. The proceeding number is 44-006-25-0-5-00001. Parcel number is 44-11-1-3-1-100-001.020-006. The property address is 206 East Hillcrest, Topeka, Indiana, 46571. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree the year under appeal is as stated?
Yes.
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I'm Secretary of PTABOA.
The following other persons are here representing PTABOA.
Jennifer Beachy,
Joe Billman.
I'm Deb Notstein. There's no one here representing the taxpayer. The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild?
Josh Pettit with Nexus.
Will, all persons who are maybe witness in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this hearing is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Since the taxpayer is not here, the county may present their evidence.
I did not work on this one until last night, so there's no sales comps or anything. But so far, we've had no correspondence from the taxpayer. Kim did look at the Hillcrest area, and this is in line assessment-wise with all of the other double wides that are in that greater Hillcrest neighborhood. I did do a quick review of mobile homes, double wide mobile homes on real property that have sold in the Topeka area. There were none this age. They were all a little bit newer, but they also were selling for quite a bit more, up to $100,000 more. If they were, if it was a 2006 or a 2008, you might have seen a sale price of $240,000. We can produce those sales comps if necessary, but they're going to agree with the value. I can tell you that. I've already reviewed them, so they did comp out close to the value. Mobile homes are tough. It's one of those things that they ebb and flow, and now it seems like you can get loans on them. For a while you couldn't get a loan on them. When you go back to 2010, 2012, you couldn't give these things away, and now all of a sudden here we are back to 30-year-old mobile homes that are selling for $200,000. And so without any evidence to support a different value, the assessors are making the recommendation for no change.
We do still have the obsolescence on the mobile home from the 22 appeal. It's got 10%.
And keep in mind, this one is on a basement. This is, I know it's 27 years old, but if she brings up a photo of this thing, it's pretty nice. It's still in pretty good shape.
It was accordingly purchased in 07 for 140, and we have it assessed at 140,500 now, the property.
It almost feels right after 20 years. It probably did this, and now the appreciation's done this. That might actually work out right in the end on a mobile home. But
So, is there any further discussion?
I have no further discussion. Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to accept the county's assessed value for the Harris property.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to accept the county's value of Mr. Harris's property at $140,500. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. After seeing the values of the lake house, this is almost refreshing.
I know. I'm like, there's actually properties that are that low.
$600,000.
TA investments, yeah. This is an administrative hearing being held on September 9, 2025 in the LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. Proceeding number is 44-008-25-0-4-00001. The parcel number is 44-12-25-400-001.018-008. The property address is 304 Hall Patch Drive, Topeka, Indiana 46571. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree the year under appeal is as stated?
yes.
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I'm Secretary of PTABOA.
The following other persons are here representing the PTABOA.
Jennifer Beachy.
Joe Miller.
I'm Deb Notstein. There is no one here representing the taxpayer. The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild,
Josh Pettit with Nexus.
All persons who may be witness in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Yes, I do.
Since the taxpayer is not here, the county may proceed.
So yeah, I just wanted to make sure this got before the board specifically to protect the taxpayers' rights because he did finally send back a 134. It was checked that there was a disagreement. So on this form, it says, after preliminary informal meeting, do the taxpayer and assessor agree on the resolution of all issues? He said no. The next one is, do the parties agree on a partial agreement? He said yes. He had some disparaging things to say about me because he doesn't like me. And then he proceeded to sign, I withdraw my appeal. Technically, withdrawing your appeal would put the value back to the original value. We do not believe that's what the taxpayer intended to do. So we are going to ask the board to also make a determination just to protect his rights so he has the chance of a state appeal if he wishes, to agree to the changed value of $37,400 for land to $11,900 for the improvements. That way the taxpayer, in case there was any confusion, still has an opportunity to continue his appeal.
I make a motion for the TA investment property that we would go ahead with the assessor's changes of $34,000 for land to $11,900 for improvements for a total of $249,300.
I will second that.
There's a motion and a second to accept the county's adjusted values I don't have them in front of me, I can't recall. At a total of 249,300. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. That it? For that?
I think that's it for real estate, right? And that is how you do the bigger bands. Add some things. It's okay. It can't be, it's not the worst thing I've heard. I won't think of him again until I force him to appeal next time.
Well, enjoy your exemption time.
We shall.
All right.
I'll do that. No, I'll do that afterwards. Who?
This is asking me if I'm done.
No, you're done.
Are these also being live streamed portion of the meeting?
I can
Okay.
mute it if you needed it.
Oh, I didn't know.